Today's zoological science distinguishes 31 species of pangolins, including fossils. 8 of them have survived to our time. Half of them inhabit Central and Southern Africa, and the 4 remaining species inhabit South and Southeast Asia. And once, 20 to 10 million years ago, such animals roamed the territory of what is now Europe. So pangolins are ancient and venerable creatures. Once a year the female pangolinus meets with the male, and 120 to 150 days later the offspring are born. Moreover, the African lizards always have 1 calf, and the Asiatic ones may have 3 of them. Newborn cubs are a copy of their parents, except that their scales are soft at the beginning and harden only after several days. Getting a little older, the babies leave the shelter and begin to travel with their mothers, clinging to her back or a long tail. A month after birth, they begin to feed on their own. The lizard is endowed with several tools for feeding, and it earns its daily bread by hard work. The first tool is its long and strong claws, digging the ground in search of underground ant settlements and breaking anthills and termite mounds above the surface of the earth. Tool number 2 is the pangolin's tongue, which reaches 40 centimeters and is covered with sticky, spider-like saliva. It works like a good piston, delivering more and more portions of insects to the throat of the host. And it works tirelessly, which is not surprising at all, because the muscles that drive it are incredibly long, passing through the chest cavity. They are attached even at the pelvis. An interesting peculiarity of the tongue is that the covering saliva exudes a honeyed smell, on which ants and termites run away, abandoning all the pressing matters. And with a rapid express train they head for the stomach. The pangolin has no time to chew, especially since it has little or no teeth in its mouth. But the stomach, lined with horny epithelium, has a fold dotted with horny teeth. Pebbles, which the lizard swallows just like birds, also contribute to grind coarse, solid chitin, food. Anthills serve not only as a canteen, but also as a preventive station, a kind of cleaning station from parasites. Climbing into the thick of angry ants he lifts the scales, and the defenders of the anthills immediately attack the exposed skin, biting furiously and splashing copiously with antacid. The procedure is not pleasant, but health is more important, and the animal endures. When it runs out of patience, it just closes its shingles tightly and crushes unnecessary healers. The session is over. The specifics of nutrition, in nature, the lizard doesn't eat anything else, make it difficult to keep pangolins in zoos. But, like ants, with knowledge, wish and patience they can be transferred to substitute food, mash with added insects, and sometimes without them. Today's technology allows the preparation of fodder, but before much was a problem, and the necessary knowledge was absent. In tropical Asia zoos, pangolins have never been much of a diva. It is easier to feed them in the places, and if the animal doesn't live long, it won't take long to catch the next one. In Europe, if they ever appeared, it was usually accidentally and for a short time. But at the end of 2007 the Chinese pangolin appeared in Leipzig Zoo and, as it turned out, it adapted quite successfully. From Indonesia, to Vietnam, to Zimbabwe we get news about confiscated pangolins, victims of poachers. And if in Sumatra the story ended relatively safely, almost all animals survived and were released, until they are caught again by local hunters. For example, near the Chinese border in Vietnam a cargo consisting of frozen carcasses of water agamas and pangolins weighing a total of 5 tons. It was all destined for Chinese restaurants and pharmacies. The broth or soup of the whole pangolin, cooked together with the scales, is considered in China not just a delicacy, but a cure for many diseases, prolonging life and restoring youth. However, practically everything that moves, jumps, swims and flies is considered healing in the East. Traditional Chinese cuisine, together with Oriental herbalism, is now devastating the forests of the planet in the literal sense of the word, much to the sorrow of the world's nature. What is confiscated by customs, police and environmentalists is not the tip of the iceberg, but its tiny tip. Environmentalists estimate that tens, if not hundreds of tons of pangolins alone are exported from the forests of tropical Asia and the African bush to Chinese cafes and restaurants. The demand is not abating, the Chinese population is only increasing, and in direct proportion to its growth, nature is being combed with frequent combing. The planet's forests are literally being eaten away by a voracious China, so predictions for the future of tropical biodiversity are not cheerful. In the old world for sure, but talk of South American fauna depending on the growing appetites of Chinese cuisine is surely not far off. By the way, according to the latest findings of geneticists, pangolins or their immediate ancestors were the starting point that gave rise to the further, and current, diversity of beasts of prey. So says chromosomal analysis. A peaceful creature, scary only to bugs, here's the paradox, gave birth to creatures aggressive, but necessary for nature to maintain the balance in it. Unfortunately, there is no escape from man, neither by curling up into a ball, nor by running. This predator knows how to destroy the balance of nature like no other. He's too far removed from peaceful lizards. And not just genetically,